Hello everybody, welcome back to the Bad Bookers of Wrestling podcast. My name is Jack and today we are reviewing Monday Night Raw. Action-packed Monday Night Raw, if you will. We'll kick things off in a minute, but first of all, if you did enjoy the video, please like it. It will mean a hell of a lot to us. Subscribe if you're new around here. We've got 131 subscribers, I believe, now, which is a mad rise over the past few weeks. Other than that, we got a new website, if you don't know, badbookers.com. We got Patreon with that, patreon.com/badbookers. And yeah, I think that's it. Monday Night Raw then. We kicked off Raw with The Shield, and they came out and said that, you know, they announced on Twitter a few hours before that it was their, like, farewell speech, I guess you could say. And they were all laying out what they were going to do now. They're all splitting off and doing their own things. So obviously Roman said during his promo that he's got his first match on Monday Night Raw later on, first match in 5 months I believe it is, and that was his agenda, going back into action into Raw tonight. And Dean Ambrose is doing his thing, leaving the company, or is he leaving the company? We don't quite know. And Seth Rollins is obviously going to WrestleMania to face the Beast Brock Lesnar, and becoming hopefully the new Universal Champion. And that was it. that was it. Dean and Roman left. Seth stayed in the ring because he was going to do his promo. And I think the first thing he said was, last night at Fastlane, the Shield were on fire. And then Paul Heyman interrupted him and said that, he did his spiel about Brock Lesnar, and then Seth said that, oh yeah, Brock Lesnar, like mocking Paul Heyman and saying that he's run through his opponents, The Big Show, Braun Strowman, Samoa Joe, there was another one I think, I can't remember, Bill Goldberg, that's what he said, but he's struggled against the likes of AJ Styles and Daniel Bryan and Finn Balor. They've all, given him a good fight, and he's struggled to beat them. And it just so happens that Seth is the same build, the same height, the same style, the same action pack, the same stamina as all of those guys. But there's going to be one difference. Seth Rollins is going to beat him at WrestleMania. And Paul Heyman says that he used excuses like Brock Lesnar didn't have time to prepare for those matches. He thought he was going to face Jinder Mahal. He's facing AJ Styles. He thought he was facing AJ Styles. He got Daniel Bryan. He thought he was facing Braun Strowman, and he got Finn Balor. So he always had an excuse up his sleeve if he lost. And we then played a video package of Brock Lesnar showing off how much of a beast he is, I guess you can say. And the video package ended, and Paul Heyman was talking a bit more, and Seth Rollins got attacked from behind, but it wasn't by Brock. It was by Shelton Benjamin. And you might be thinking, Shelton Benjamin? What's he doing? If you don't know, Shelton and Brock Lesnar are actually a tag team on FCW or OVW, one of the developmental brands back in the day. And so it was kind of like a strange but really cool kind of introduction into this feud. So it looks like maybe that Shelton's going to be Brock Lesnar's, not manager because he's got Paul Heyman, but kind of they have to get through Shelton to get to Brock kind of thing, I reckon. So that'd be good. Use Shelton Benjamin for something, because we haven't seen him on TV since forever. He was last seen in the Rumble, I believe. So yeah, it's good to Shelton Benjamin. It makes sense because of their past ties, and yeah, perfect sense. Shelton and Seth then had the match after Shelton Benjamin Germaned him 3 times, I think it was. We then had an ad break, and then we came back, and Seth Rollins and Shelton Benjamin had a match. It was a very, very good matchup between the two. Both similar styles once again, and Seth Rollins winning it with the curb stomp. And Seth Rollins had to win here. You can't really have Shelton Benjamin not on TV and then just come back and win because he's Brock Lesnar's mate, kind of thing. So it builds Brock Lesnar. It builds Seth Rollins up a little bit more, and it just ties things over. And during the match, Paul Heyman announced that Brock Lesnar will be in Chicago next week for next week's Monday Night Raw. So we're going to have to wait and see what happens then. We then had a match straight after. Seth Rollins was still in the ring, and Finn Balor came out for his match. He was defending the Intercontinental Championship against Bobby Lashley. So the two met on the ramp. Seth Rollins and Finn high-fived and everything. Oh, faces. Yeah, cool. Yeah, matches of the IC title match. It was an okay match. Like, Bobby Lashley was, asserting his dominance, if you will, his bigger size to Finn Balor throughout the match. And then Finn Balor finally started to get on top, and he went to the top rope to go for the coup de grace. And the bell started to ring. And the ref was like, sorry, what? And Finn was like, what are you doing, ref? The camera turned to the timekeeper's area, and Leo Rush was ringing the bell. And then he grabbed the IC title and went, this is not yours, like, you don't deserve it and whatnot. Finn then went after Rush. Rush jumped onto the apron, and Finn managed to hit Bobby Lashley like through the ropes and then kick Leo Rush in the face and whatnot. And then he decided to springboard off the top rope, which Finn Balor doesn't do too often. Springboarded off the top rope towards Bobby Lashley, only to be met by a hellacious spear, if you will. And Bobby Lashley is once again the new Intercontinental Champion. They better be doing something big with the IC belt going into WrestleMania, because taking it off Finn seems a very, very strange move at this point. But I'm not going to criticise it just yet. I'm just going to have to wait and see what happens, because at the moment I'm sceptical, because it seemed brilliant. Finn Balor's finally got a title on WWE again. Like, he's going to run with it and hopefully have a very good match at WrestleMania. And then they halted that and put the title back on Bobby Lashley. And I don't know, I just hope this all ends well at WrestleMania, because at the moment I haven't got too much faith. But yeah, Bobby Lashley, new IC champion. Next up, we had Ronda Rousey coming out to address what she did at Fastlane yesterday. And she said that, she wanted Becky in the match, hence why she got Charlotte disqualified. And that's because she wants to expose both Becky and Charlotte and the WWE for what frauds they are, basically. And she says that she would destroy them, without even breaking a sweat. She'd even consider having a handicap match at WrestleMania, have Becky and Charlotte team up, because even then she would just destroy them both within seconds. Laying it into the crowd as well. Pretty good promo from Ronda, all in all. And then she got interrupted by an unlikely source in Dana Brooke. Her entrance music hit, and I was like, I don't recognise that music. Who is that? It's Dana Brooke, and that's unfortunate when you don't even recognise an entrance music. But we haven't seen Dana in a very, very long time. And Dana comes out and says that she just states her love for the WWE and says that she's worked her tail off, as she said, to get into this situation, and every week she comes to Raw and she wants to be given a chance. She fights for everything to be given a chance, and she doesn't get that. She doesn't get that chance, so she's taking it tonight. And she says, usually after a pay-per-view, Ronda, you issue an open challenge, and she's here to accept that open challenge. Ronda doesn't open an open challenge. All she does is beat the living crap out of Dana Brooke, basically. And yeah, she just demolishes Dana. Judo throws everywhere, and she teases the armbar, and then she says something like, "Pay $60 and then you can see an armbar," or something like that. She then goes to go out the ring. A ref tries to tell her to calm down or something, and she just slaps the piss out of the ref, basically. And yeah, she picked up her leather jacket and title and walked off again. Cool. It was a pretty decent promo. Dana Brooke, probably the right person to put in that role, actually. Gets her on TV, puts her intentions across, like she is fighting to get on TV, but they're just not giving the matches. And Ronda Rousey destroyed her. So it's probably the right person to put in that role. And it made Ronda look like a stone cold killer, if you will. She don't give any shit anymore. We then had a tag team match after this with Aleister Black and Ricochet tag teaming once again against Bobby Roode and Chad Gable. Decent matchup, wasn't too long, about 10 minutes maybe. Aleister Black hitting the Black Mass once again. As soon as someone kicks out of that Black Mass, it's going to get a huge reception, I think, because no one's kicking out of it. It's a really, really... What's the word? Protected. A really protected finisher move at the moment. No one's kicking out of that. And to be fair, not many people kick out of it in NXT as well. So it's good to see that. He hit that on Bobby Roode to pick up the win. But as they were going up the ramp, Revival attacked them from behind and let them lay there in pain while Bobby Roode and Chad Gable were walking back up the ramp. And that was it. Didn't see Roode or Gable attack them afterwards. I assume they didn't. Yeah, just puts over Aleister Black and Ricochet a bit more. Didn't feel like they lost any momentum after their loss on Sunday because, you know, they got their heat back, I guess you can say, after standing tall over the two tag teams over the weekend. So yeah, good enough. Next up we had Alexa Bliss's. She was revealing the host of WrestleMania. She said that the host is going to be more electrifying than The Rock, better than any reality star like Kim Kardashian, and has more power of the positivity than the New Day. And the host of this year's WrestleMania is her. It's Alexa Bliss. Fair enough. She wasn't going to wrestle on WrestleMania unless it was in the Battle Royale. I assume they're doing that again this year. And she's not in a storyline or anything. Give her some mic time. She'll kill it like she normally does. Alexa Bliss is the host of WrestleMania. Yeah, all right. We then had a lovely Elias segment in his hometown of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. That didn't stop him from running the town down, though. He's saying that anyone born in Pittsburgh doesn't really get a chance in life unless you're super, super talented like he is. And it's all the commoners dragging the greatness down. Along those lines of what he said, anyway. Heels shouldn't run down their hometown. It's their hometown, man. Come on, just be happy you're in your hometown. You're wrestling in your hometown. And that's what Elias did in the end, because No Way Jose came out to interrupt him, and it seemed like this with Dana Brooke as well, and Leah Rush, I guess you could say, Shelton Benjamin, not Leah Rush, you can't put Leah Rush in this case, so Shelton Benjamin, Dana Brooke, and now No Way Jose, people that haven't been on TV for ages, they're just on this Raw. Sorry, I don't know why. Just on this Raw, Elias completely destroys No Way Jose, the Conga Line Runaway. And yeah, that was it. They then announced, obviously, the news that Harlem Heat's going in the Hall of Fame. As a WCW mark myself, I was very, very happy and pleased to see that. And then Lacey Evans comes out, goes over to the commentary table, says something to Michael Cole, and Corey Graves are holding her fan up to Renee Young's face so she couldn't see her face. Cool. I guess that's good enough, really. She didn't do a catwalk thing when she goes down to the ring, so a little bit different, I guess you can say. And then Nia Jax and Tamina come out to... they just look at Lacey Evans and walk off. But Nia Jax is having a match against Natalya. Before the match could start, Natalya gets on the mic and said that she doesn't trust Nia or Tamina after what happened last night at Fastlane. And, she wants to know who had her back in the locker room. And she thought it was Ronda Rousey, but apparently she can't trust her anymore either. So she knows she's got her best friend by her side. And out comes Beth Phoenix, the Hall of Famer, Beth Phoenix, to be at her side during this match. And the match didn't even last 30 seconds, maybe a minute, before Tamina grabbed Natalya's legs while the ref's back was turned, and that riled up Beth Phoenix as she jumped in the ring, beat up both Nia and Tamina. I say beat up, laid punches into Nia, and then it was one chop, I think. Tamina flew out the ring, and Tamina and Nia run off backstage, send them packing pretty much. But the cameras go backstage into the gorilla area, and Sasha and Bayley are attacking Nia and Tamina now. they haven't got many friends, have they? Nia and Tamina. And then, that gets broken up by all the producers and whatnot. And, yeah, we just go to the different segments. So it wasn't a very, very long segment. It's probably 5 minutes, if that, segment between, Nia Jax coming out to the finish of the brawl, pretty much. So, yeah, wasn't long. I wouldn't mind a Nia Jax versus Beth Phoenix thing at WrestleMania. I think that'd be quite cool. We'll have to wait and see, though. Up next, we had the face-off between Triple H and Batista. If you don't know, I'm a massive Batista fan. I'm so glad he's back. And he brought a lot of security guards with him, Batista, because he's, protecting his interests and whatnot. Triple H was in the ring. Dave Batista was on the ramp, on the top of the ramp with the security in front of him. And, he gets on the mic and he says that, he's not stupid. He's the security here to protect his interests, because he's got no plans to get anywhere near Triple H in this instance. And that he's learnt from, the two dirtiest players in the game, in Triple H and Ric Flair. And that, he's come back. He did what he did a few weeks ago, just to get one thing, and Triple H knows that one thing, and they're going to do this on Batista's terms and the way Batista wants it, and Batista's going to get that one thing. But Triple H, he keeps on refusing. He keeps on saying, you've beaten up a 70-year-old man. You don't deserve anything. Get into this ring right now. So, like a man. And, Batista keeps refusing. Just give me that one thing, Hunter. Give me that one thing. Triple H went, right, if you're not going to step in this ring, maybe I should walk down, go through, I can't remember the quote he said, it was some Guardians of the Galaxy thing. Go through all your security guards and then beat your ass on the ramp. And Batista's like, look at you. I can tell you just hate this. You hate this feeling because you're not in control, Hunter. You don't like this. We're doing this on my terms right now. Give me what I want. And he finally does. He finally says it. Batista says he wants Triple H at WrestleMania. Triple H gives him that match. It's confirmed. Triple H versus Batista at WrestleMania, but with one added stipulation. It's going to be a no-holds-barred match, which Batista looked, he was like, okay, and then just walked off, did his suit back up and walked off. So it's confirmed, Triple H versus Batista in a no-holds-barred match at WrestleMania. There's also mentions of, I think Batista said, that's the only way he wants to end his career, and at WrestleMania he's also going to end Triple H's career. So, there might be loser leaves town match or something like that. Loser has to retire or something like that. Maybe not, but that'd be quite a good added stipulation, I feel. There'd be a lot more riding on that and a little less predictable, because if it's just a standard match, then you'd think, yeah, Triple H is going to go over. But if it's a retirement match, there's no need for Batista to retire because he's not a wrestler anymore, particularly. But Triple H, maybe? We'll have to wait and see. Up next, we had Kurt Angle addressing his future. Maybe he's getting a retirement match at WrestleMania. We'll have to wait and see. It's not a retirement match that Kurt Angle is getting. It's his farewell match. He wanted to save his announcement for his hometown of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, to say that at WrestleMania it will be his farewell match, his last ever match in wrestling. But, it was a very emotional promo, but he said that he wants to thank everyone, WWE, the fans, every person he's been in the locker room with, but the one time and the last time he wanted to wrestle in his hometown. So up next, we're getting a match between Kurt Angle and Apollo Crews. His final match in Pittsburgh, his hometown. Emotional stuff. Apollo Crews came out and Kurt Angle and Apollo Crews had this match. And it was a good match. It was a good little exhibition match, if you will. Kurt Angle picking up the victory with the Angle Slam, as expected. Apollo and Kurt hugged afterwards. Kurt thanked the crowd, and we moved on to what we thought was the main event of the evening, which was supposed to be supposed to be Roman Reigns and Baron Corbin to face each other. Roman's first match in 5 months, but Roman came out and was attacked from behind by Drew McIntyre, and Drew hitting 2 beautiful Claymore kicks onto Roman. The second one driving Roman Reigns' head into the ring post. Drew McIntyre then walks away, happy with what he's done, and the trainers come out, medics come out to try and check on Roman, but he's refusing to get checked on, just saying he's got a little headache. It's all right. Seth Rollins comes out and was like, "Come on, man, what are you doing? If you're not okay, say you're not okay," and all that. Roman says that he's not doing this here, and Seth helps him to the back. So, are we going to get a Roman Reigns match? Who's going to face Baron Corbin? What's happening? We've just gone to a commercial break, so we don't know what's happening at the moment. Come back from commercial, and we know what matchup we are getting now, as Dean Ambrose runs into Triple H in the locker room after him and Seth take Roman to the trainer's room, and Dean asks for a no disqualification, falls count anywhere match with Drew McIntyre, and Triple H accepts. That will be our main event of the... This match was, I thought it was a proper good match. Falls count anywhere. They can always be a bit messy, and a bit too much going on, but this match was just incredible. I thought there was one a bit lame spot where Drew was on top of I don't know what it was, like a production kit box kind of thing, and Dean drove him into another one, and it just kind of didn't really do anything. But the end of the match, Drew McIntyre stabbed Dean Ambrose with a pencil for one, and then Drew slammed Dean onto the LED boards, on the ramp, and then put Dean through the hand railings on the side. There's a set of stairs next to the ramp, and there's hand railings on them, and he put Dean through the hand railings, and then produced one of the best Claymore kicks I've ever seen. Proper caught him, saw the replays, caught him, hand railings came off, Drew McIntyre pins Dean Ambrose for the win, and after the match, Drew McIntyre even is celebrating on the announcement table. Dean Ambrose crawls back up to the ramp, and Drew McIntyre hits him with another Claymore kick. Drew McIntyre feels like a massive deal again, and it's incredible to see. Really liked it, really liked it. And that was Monday Night Raw. I thought it was an alright Monday Night Raw, to be fair. I enjoyed myself, to be honest. I'm going to give it a 3 3/4 stars, because I'm generous like that. And the ending was perfect. The Batista Triple H I liked because I'm biased. Lashley winning the Intercontinental title was a bit, but we'll have to see what they're planning for that. Roman not fighting, we'll get that next week. But Seth and Shelton Benjamin's match was really good, and yeah, just all round, I enjoyed myself. 3 3/4 stars. What did you rate it? I'll leave an eye thingy up here. Is it here? Up here or somewhere, I think. And you can vote in the poll, which is probably up there. But yeah, Monday Night Raw. We'll have to see what happens to SmackDown. Vince McMahon is confirmed for SmackDown. What are they going to do with Kofi Kingston? We'll have to wait and see. If you did like that, please leave a like on the video. Please subscribe to the channel. And I'll see you again tomorrow. Thank you very much for watching.